Hey, what's going on, guys? Lewis here, and here is a top 16 Infernity deck profile for YCS New Jersey. So this deck is a little bit unconventional, but sort of the decks that have been the Infernity decks that have been doing well. The conventional one revolves around things like Mirage and Hundred Eyes Dragon, and they Synchro Summon. These are more of an Exceed variant, and it's really interesting to see them. So he's playing two Armageddon Knights. Armageddon Knight is just a really quick deck thin Infinities. You don't want to have that many monsters, if any, in your hand. What you want to do is top deck like Archfiend. And it's also really good to throw down these Stygian Street Patrols in the graveyard. Helps out a lot in the deck. Next is going to be a Greffer. Greffer essentially does the same thing as your Armageddon Knight in the deck, except he helps thin out your hand. And that's why he's at 1 and Armageddon Knight is 2. Armageddon Knight is more live. There's times where you don't have like a monster in your hand and Greffer can just sit there, and he's not that big of a beater anyway, so it's not even that good to have him. Next is going to be 3 Infernity Archfiend. Broken card. This card is ridiculous. If you top deck this card, you can special summon it. And furthermore, when this card is special summoned while you have no cards in your hand, you can add any Infernity card in your deck to your hand. It's a monster, spell, trap, doesn't matter, add it to your hand. Infernity Necromancer, he's playing 3 copies of these, 2 of the Street Patrols, and 2 Summoner Monk. I really do like Summoner Monk in the deck. It helps you go for some really, really good plays. If you have like 1 spell card in your hand, you can drop down an Archfiend, and that allows you to add another card, or you can instead of like really early, you can go into an Armageddon Knight or a Greffer, and that lets you deck them, and then you can overlay for like something like a Lavalval Chain, and set up your graveyard. It's just really good. Next is gonna be Foolish Burial, Heavy Storm, 1 Infernity Launcher because it's at 1. Otherwise, you'd probably be playing more because this card is amazing. It's like a monster born for 2 monsters. He's playing 2 Instant Fusions, really good card in the deck. 1 Reborn, triple MST, and triple Night Beam. The reason is, like I said, Infinities don't want to have that many cards in their hand. That's why they play such a low monster count. And realistically, in the meta, most of the time, cards like Mystical Space Typhoon and Night Beam aren't going to be dead. And in the event that they are, you can set them face down. And with a card like MST, you can go ahead and chain it when your opponent activates like something like a Tenki, or when they set something during the end phase. You can just go ahead and pop whatever you need to pop. He is playing 1 Duality. The deck is a very, very heavily. I worded that wrong. The deck is very heavy on exceeding. So you constantly want to special summon the monsters, whether from your hand, your deck, or whatever. And you really can't afford to not exceed so much that you can afford to play multiple dualities. So 1 is probably pretty good. He's playing 1 Rhoda. Rhoda searches out Armageddon Knight as well as the Dark Greffer. And he's playing 2 Upstart Goblins. It's one of those, it's another spell card that lets you cycle through your cards a little faster. If you don't want to use it, you can always set it, and it's like, oh, okay, I don't have the card in my hand no more, let me go off. Next is going to be 2 Bottomless Trap Holes. 1 Call the Haunted. Call the Haunted is exceptionally good in the deck. You can get a Necromancer, and if you have no cards in hand, she's live. If you have no cards in hand, you can special summon Archfiend. His effect becomes live. You can always go for a quick Armageddon Knight and mill something whenever you want. Like they go MST, like alright, chain on Armageddon Knight, and I'm gonna pitch like a Stygian Street Patrol. Then he's playing 2 Barriers. The reason why he's playing 2 Barriers, I can see it already, is because it's not the Synchro Summon variant. The Synchro Summon variant has the loop with the 100 Eyes Dragon, so you can add all 3 on 1 turn and just set them all, and it's like, alright, I win. And the reason why I think that the Exceed version is becoming more prevalent than the Synchro Summon version is because of something like Evil Swarms, where they're like, oh, okay, well, I have Ophion, so now your deck is dead. I've played Infinities on like DevPro and DN, and I've noticed that if someone has Ophion, essentially, if I can't make like Armory Arm plus Archfiend, I lose. And that's assuming that they don't have anything to protect Ophion in the process. If you go like warning, I'm like, oh, okay, well, GG. So this is really good. Infernity Break, really good card. Pops anything you need to pop, and it banishes something in the graveyard. System of those Leviair plays. Really nice. 2 Mirror Force and the Solemns. His side deck was interesting. So he's setting it to 1 DD Warrior Lady. I was like, what? I don't know why that's there. It seems random. 1 Medion, as we all know, takes care of Ophion relatively effectively. That's why this card's price jumped from like what, $5? Now it's average of 30. He's playing 1 Tour Guide. Tour Guide lets you go for your quick seed plays. I can see him setting into this when they set into like something like Macrocosmos. Because your other targets, I was like, yo, he doesn't have other targets. What's going on? And I was like, wait, there's 3 targets. All of the Infernity Necromancers are targets for Tour Guide, and they have 2k defense, which is really nice. Anyways, he's citing the Dark Hole. Interesting. He's citing 1 Compulse, triple Debunk. This was like, what? But, I mean, it's a really good thing. Like, I was looking at it, and I was like, oh, that's right, Mermails. They go like, okay, I'm reveal 2 for Megalo, and you're like, Debunk? You can negate that, you can negate Baylor, Maxi, I don't know, in the graveyard, Necro Gardener, Plague Spreader, It's actually pretty friggin' good. Like, I think I need to pick up, like, 2 of these, because, yeah, no one likes playing against Mermails. They're just annoying. He's playing 2 Malevolent Catastrophe, and I thought this was pretty sweet. So for those of you who don't know, when your opponent declares an attack, you can activate this, and you heavy storm the field. Super dirty. 1 Needle Ceiling, we saw this a lot, 2 formats ago when windups were like, crazy. Also in the last format we saw it a little bit, but not so much. I don't know what deck really goes off so that there's like 4 more monsters anymore. I guess maybe something like Mermails that hits them, but then again, I think Mirror Force is just as effective, and he's main decking too, so I don't see the point for like 1 random Needle Ceiling. But hey, Needle Ceiling is a great card. Next is going to be Prideful Roar. I swear, this card is becoming a freaking staple. People are going to start main decking this. I've seen this all over these deck profiles for YCS New Jersey, and so many people are playing this. So for those of you who don't know, Prideful Roar is activate only during damage calc, when the attack of your battling monster is lower than the attack of your opponent's, and pay life points equal to the difference in attack. Your monster gains attack equal to that difference plus 300 during damage calc only. So essentially, you have an honest that you have to pay life points for, but it's still pretty darn good, because you have to activate it during damage calc. And I don't know, like, an example, let's say, like, I go, okay, you have Archfiend, and I have Armageddon Knight. I go attack, damage calc, Prideful Roar, pay, I don't know, 200 life points. So, that means my monster will get 200 plus 300, so he'll gain 500, and he'll be able to run over that. And, like, you can do it for however many life points you want. You can go, alright, I'll pay 7,900 life points, and your monster gains 8,200 attack. So that's pretty ridiculous. If your opponent doesn't have that out, then it's like, oh well, I just lost to Prideful Roar. So I think this card is going to see a lot more play. Definitely, I've seen it in a couple of decks already, and I really do feel like it's going to get sided a lot often. And finally, this is Soul Drains. Extra is going to be 1 Darkfire Dragon and 1 Fusionist for the instant fusions. Then Abyss Dweller, double Diamond Dire Wolves, 1 Cowboy, 1 Pearl, 2 Lavalval Chain. This card is too good. 1 Leviair, 2 Shockmasters. I haven't tested the deck yet. I want to personally test all the decks that I've been showing you guys. But I want to see, like, can he really pull off like 2 Shockmasters in 1 game, like, effectively? Because that'd be impressive. Then 1 Utopia, 1 Black Corn, and 1 Zenmate. So yeah, guys, this is the deck. I know I had a lot to say about it because I just really enjoy Infernity. But this was not the only Infernity deck that topped. I will be having that deck profile going up later on. And yeah, if you guys haven't already subbed, go ahead and do that. That way you can catch all the deck profiles that I'll be throwing up from YCS New Jersey and all that extra good stuff. Later, guys.